Good evening, everyone. I'm very happy to see you again. How did this day go? I'm fine. Today I went to the playground with my brother and my beloved grandmother. We had a lot of fun and took a lot of great photos. But what are we waiting for? Let's start immediately from today's enlightening sentence. Today is Tuesday, 7th of September. When you think you have not understood anything, you are in total confusion. Trust me, in reality, you have understood everything, but you avoid the answer because it is obviously not what you wanted. This sentence makes me think of all the times in life when we have had disappointments, or those times when things didn't go as we wanted or thought. For example, it comes to my mind when I was rejected or when I received some disappointment in love. When these things happen, we tend to enter an illusory state because we struggle to accept reality. Tonight, I'd like to give you some advice on how to overcome a big disappointment because I love you and I care about you. I hope my advice is useful to you. Let's get started right away. Whether it's a relationship that didn't work out or you have missed an opportunity for career advancement, disappointment is never pleasant. No matter what the disappointment is, it is almost never as bad as it seems, and there are more ways to overcome it than you might think. You can face a disappointment and come out even stronger. Reveal your feelings. If you are dealing with a big disappointment, then it's only natural that you feel upset or even inconsolable. Some doctors say that facing the fact that one of the main goals in your life suddenly fails is no different than the pain of a loss. Therefore, that the suffering is due to the fact that the hoped for deal for your book didn't work out or that your boyfriend broke up with you instead of asking you to marry him. You can truly feel grieving. It is perfectly natural to feel incredibly upset and hurt. The important thing is to recognize the pain from the beginning. Don't be ashamed to cry. There is no research that says too many tears will hurt you. If someone has caused you harm, don't let this person see you cry. Don't give him a chance to get this satisfaction and deal with your feelings privately. Look at things from another perspective. Immediately after a disappointment, it is often very difficult to see anything other than absolute disaster in the aftermath. Ask yourself, will I care about this in a year, in 6 months, in a month? Often asking these questions brings us back to reality. It is terrible that you dented the car, but in a week it will be repaired, right? You didn't pass a test, but what will it matter when you graduate at the end of the semester? You have had an injury and you can't finish the sporting season, which is a shame, but you can play next year. Talk about your situation with a relational friend, preferably someone older who has overcome many obstacles and can offer you a little more understanding. Writing down your feelings and thoughts can also help you express frustration, anger, fear, and other negative feelings. This can be helpful if you can't speak to someone right away. Understand the difference between a real disaster and something that is arguably less desperate. Unfortunately, tragedies happen to the real ones. Losing your house due to a fire, being diagnosed with an incurable disease, the city invaded by a tsunami. Those are real disasters. Not passing an exam is definitely not on these levels. It is easy to fall into the trap of this the worst thing that ever happened to me, without realizing that there are people who face far more serious problems than yours. Be cautious about writing about your disappointment on social media. It can be useful for getting feedbacks from friends in time of disappointment, but be careful in certain situations. For example, your boss may find that you are complaining about work, or your grudge feel remarks about your ex-girlfriend may make her friends angry too with you. Be grateful for your problems. Turn your frustration out completely. Sure, it's disappointing that you can't go to a prime university, but you have the option to go to college and not everyone has it. You may not have landed that job you interviewed for, but this opens up the possibility of finding other jobs that you may have overlooked, and you can always try again. Finding out that you have diabetes is a shame, but you can still live a healthy life thanks to modern medicine, a possibility that a person 100 years ago did not have. Go for a long walk and sunbathe. Sunlight is known to make people happier and reduce the tendency to feel sorry for themselves. And that can still make you happy. Take some time to reflect on what you can learn from your situation. Think of something that is easier to achieve. This is different from lowering your standards. It just means you should have a more realistic approach to what you can and cannot achieve. And if you take a more realistic approach, you will be less likely to be disappointed in the future. Trying to find the bright side of the situation will help you think positively. And if you want to overcome your disappointment, this is exactly what you need to do. Give yourself some time until you feel calm enough to make a rational decision. You can't keep thinking that the world is completely unfair and that what happened to you is completely horrible. It may have been, but it has happened, and there is nothing you can do make it not happen. It happened in the past, and this is your present, and if you want to have a better future, you have to accept the past for what it was, however unpleasant it may be. Spend time with friends and family. Take a look at your life in a new way. How can you keep chasing your dreams, be happy but change things around you? Try to remind yourself every day that things will get better and you don't have to give up. Sometimes you are disappointed with something you really wanted or needed. The best thing to do is to think of other ways and really explore new perspectives instead of focusing too much time on sadness. Open up to people. Talking is a very effective way to unload all the emotional baggage that can really stress you out. Follow these steps carefully if you want to release the stress this experience is putting you through. If you are alone, let yourself go into a tantrum. This way you can vent your anger and feel much better. Remember not to do this when there are other people around you, or they may not want to be around you. Other tactical advice I could give you are: get advice from someone, be open to new opportunities, find inspiration somewhere, learn from your mistakes, don't talk to your friends about what may happen, keep hope alive, be aware of their own worth, and find the time to have fun. And you, have you ever received a big disappointment? I hope these tips of mine have been useful to you. Have a good evening and see you tomorrow with a new video. Bye bye.